Good day everyone, I am Marquem Rosaleos, 19 years old, studied at Eastern Visayas State University or Moc City Campus. For today's video, let's talk about the contemporary lesson 8 entitled State, Nationality, and Statelessness. After this lesson, you should be able to discuss the concept of states, its recognition and its rights and duties, and differentiate the concept of nationality, stateless person, and refugees. So, let's define what states means. States. States are entities that have rights and responsibilities under international law and which have the capacity to maintain their rights by bringing international claims. So, states is composed of four essential elements, which is the government, the population, sovereignty, and territory. And nationality, a legal bond having as its basis a social fact of attachment, a genuine connection of existence, interest, and sentiments, together with the existence of reciprocal rights and duties. Your nationality is the country you came from. A person's nationality is where they are a legal citizens, usually in the country where they were born. Next is the refugee. Refugee is a person who, owing to a well-founded fear of being persecuted for reason of race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group of political opinion, is outside the country of his or her nationality and is unable or owing to such fear, is unwilling to avail himself or herself of the protection of that country. So, refugee is a person who has been forced to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster. The difference between the migrant and a refugee is a choice. Migrant is someone who chooses to move, and a refugee is someone who has been forced to leave his or her country of nationality. Next, let's define the four essential elements of a state. First, permanent population, a total number of people alive and living at a given area. Without a population, there can be no state. Second, the territory. Then, territory is a part of geographic space, is under the control and sovereignty of state. It encompasses land, territory with internal waters and territorial sea, and the airspace and the subsoil. The territory is the second essential element of the state. The third is the government. Is a political system by which a country or community is administered and regulated. Each government has three organs. The first is the judiciary, which formulates the will of state, performs lawmaking functions. The second is the executive, enforces and implements the laws. The third is the judiciary, which applies the laws of specific cases and settles the dispute. Number 4, the capacity to enter into relations with the other states reflects the entity's degree of independence. Article 3 of the Montevideo Convention declares that political statehood is independent of recognition by other states, and the state is not prohibited from defending itself. So, it means there is a power or sovereignty. These are the four essential elements of a state. A state comes to be a state only when each all have these four elements, which is the population, the government, the territory, and the sovereignty. Population. State is a community of persons. It is a human political institution. Without a population, there can be no state. Population can be more or less, but it has to be there. Territory is the second essential element of the state. State is a territorial unit. Definite territory is its essential component. A state cannot exist in the air or at sea. It is essentially a territorial state. The size of territory of a state can be a big or small. Nevertheless, it has to be a definite, well-marked portion of territory. Government is the organization or machinery or agency or magistracy of state which makes, implements, enforces, and adjudicates the laws of the state. Government is the third essential element of the state. The state exercises its sovereign power through its government. Sovereignty is the most exclusive element of state. A state alone possesses sovereignty. Without sovereignty, no state. Some institutions can have the first three elements, the population, territory, and government, but not sovereignty. State the exclusive title and prerogative to exercise supreme power over all its people and territory. In fact, sovereignty is the basis on which the state regulates all aspects of the life of the people living in its territory. States are created through the following. First is the discovery and occupation. The second is the prescription. The third is the cession. Fourth, accretion. And the fifth is the conquest. So, what is discovery and occupation? This is occur when a territory belonging in a state is placed sovereignty of a claiming state. Then, it is the central of freely newly discovered territory exercised by a power with no sovereign title to the land. Example, the treasure and or abandoned house. The second is the prescription. Is when a territory is acquired through continuous and uninterrupted possession over a long period of time. Example, when you live in that place for a long period of time without interrupt or disturbance of the owner, then you have the right of that place. Third, cession involve the peaceful transfer of territory from our sovereign to another with the intention that sovereignty should pass. Then it is the transfer of territory. Then example is in that place and the other's place, they are transferring territory. The definition of cession is the giving up of rights, property, or territory to another. In 1970, when Virginia and Maryland gave up land to create the District of Columbia, is an example of cession. Fourth, accretion is the increase in the land of the state, either through natural means or artificially through human labor. So, in general, this is something that is added. Example of accretion is the garage someone may build on his home. The addition of soil to land by gradual natural deposits. The fifth is the conquest. Conquest is the act of defeating an opponent and occupying all or parts of territory does not of itself constitute a basis title to the land. It gives the victor certain right under international law as regard the territory, the rights of belligerent occupation, but the territory remains subject to the legal title to the ousted sovereign. An example of a conquest is an army taking over a town in a war. Thank you. That's all for this video. I hope you learned something.